strong woman, oh so strong. Ooh-wee. She's a strong woman. She knows what life is worth. She's been through anguish, and many times she's hurt. She's been through the fire.
Hi guys, blessed good day to you. Hope all is well. It's me, Sophia Greene, author of Ladies by the Well, and we're continuing this journey, and today we're going to be touching a few sensitive areas, the dancehall scene, the fast lane, and the era where my dad was murdered. So right now we're in the 90s. This is what we call the 90s, back in the 80s and the 90s, and this is the area of 96, 97, 98, Rutland and Rockaway Parkway, the infamous 90s, where a lot of my brothers and sisters lost their life to the drug trade and the retailing of drug and everything that came with that world. I spent a lot of time hanging out in this corner at Rockaway Parkway and Rutland because my dad used to be on this block almost 7 to 6 hours a day, at least 6 days an hour, and at least 6 days out of the week. And maybe that could have been a contribution to his murder. Maybe it could have been over ego, maybe it could have been over something from his past, but whatever it is, he's no longer here. But these are one of the areas that we spent a lot of time at, and a lot of my brothers used to be on all these different corners, and my sisters too, of course, and we all contributed to what it was that happened in that era. We know that we are not the supplier of these drugs. You know we got the opportunity to have access to it, so we could bring it into our neighborhood, so our brothers and sisters could have it to distribute it in the hands of their brothers and sisters and destroy our community and destroy ourselves. But it is what it is. It's a system that's set up to cheat us and defeat us, and we're usually the one that suffers. People of color and minorities and immigrants are usually the one that suffers. But it's much more bigger than us and much more higher than us. And so that was the era of the dancehall scene and the partying and the drinking and the smoking and the drug distribution. And this was one of the areas. So we're going to go further along as we visit a few more areas in the 90s. And this Korean store here, my dad spent a lot of time there. That gentleman is the owner of that store is a very good friend of his. So yeah, spent a lot of time here. Would come and visit my dad, and this corner store right here. These guys used to be my dad's friend, and at some point they had a fallout and they no longer got along. And so unfortunately, even though they were great friends when they were growing up, it turned out, for whatever reason, that their friendship ended, and they're no longer friends. So Lincoln and Troy was one of the main places that we hung out. We came to visit our brothers and sisters and hang on the corner. It was like a hangout spot. But the real truth of the matter was, it was one of the biggest outlets for drug dealing on a small scale. On a small scale, not a large scale. This was the retail area where you could get everything you need. The infamous Lincoln and Troy. And we're going to touch a few areas. We're going to touch the 90s. We're going to touch Rogers and Linden. There's so much corners and so much bases that we had in the Brooklyn scene where the retail of the drugs was sold. And the fruit and result of all of that was many of my brothers and sisters lost their life, and many of them got incarcerated very lengthy years, and a lot of them are around hospitalized in wheelchairs, and some of them died because of the AIDS epidemic, and some of them even got overdosed on their own product that they sell and died from drugs overdose. So these are some of the topics we're gonna touch on that affect us as immigrants coming from another country, trying to make it in another country, have no papers, no social, and sometimes it's forced to take certain routes. Some people take the route because of money, some people take it because they feel they have no other choices, and some people take it because that's what they choose to do. So come on with me as we touch other areas in Brooklyn where we had the retail of the drugs and the narcotics in the American system. You know, the drug trade didn't just affect one nation. We all were part of this syndicate and all that was being traded. Every nation, it affected every nation. Americans, whites, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Guyanese, Haitians, Africans, all of us was a part of this cycle. Every single one of us was a part of this cycle. And I say we a lot because none of us is exempt really from what was happening. Because if you dated a drug dealer, you were a part of the game. If you had a child for a drug dealer, you're a part of the game because you're partaking in the money. If you made a phone call to connect one to the other, you're a part of the game. If you introduce one to the other, so we all were a part of this big umbrella that the system, you know, put in place to have us all entrapped. But thank God we're all still here. I mean, a lot of my brothers and sisters did their time and they've been deported and they're home, and some of them is no longer in the game and they're out and they're doing great things. But we all got caught up in it at one time, the dancehall scene and the fast money as young people. And it's all good. Some of us had fun and lived to tell about it, like me. Some of us had fun and never saw it coming and is not here to see this YouTube. Some of us are still doing some very long times, lengthy times in prison. A few of my brothers and sisters are wheelchair bound. A few of my brothers and sisters are in exile in some parts of the world that I refuse to mention, and they'll live there forever until they die because they will not go back to Jamaica and they are not allowed to come back in America. So that's a trade-off, you know. This thing ran big. It's not just America. It's a big ring. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than my brothers. It's bigger than my sisters. But you know, they always let us as minorities and immigrants get the worst part of it, to set an example when they did those lengthy incarcerations in the drug game, when they said they're cleaning up the streets, to put the blame on us, to make it seem that we were the foundation. But we weren't the foundation. We were just a few of the branches and the leaves, and you and I won't be able to know who the roots were and the foundations, and that's okay, you know. So this is just a part of the story, and thank God I'm here to talk about it. On my next YouTube video, hopefully we'll be able to touch on the dancehall scenes and how it has changed from the 80s and the 90s to back, you know, coming back now to 2017. So we're going to touch a few more places where back in the 80s and the 90s that we partied when the fast money was running, the fast life, the life that we thought was so beautiful and enjoyable. And yes, we did have fun, you know. And if you're here to live, to talk about it, and to experience this with me, and to go back in times, you know we did have fun back in the Biltmore days and the Starlight Ballroom days and the Love People days. You know, we had fun, we partied, you know, the hairstyles, the clothes, everything that comes with the culture of dancehall, the fast money, you know, the money, the liquor, the drinking, and the nice cars. We had fun. So until I see you again, I'm Sophia Greene, author of Ladies by the Well. It's been a pleasure. If you like what you see and you heard, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, or subscribe on YouTube. Tell me what you think. Give me a comment. Let me know what's going through your mind. So until then, I'll talk to you on the next journey.
So hold on to your dreams.
Ladies, hold on.
And never give up the fight.
Hold on to your
Stand
dreams.
firm in yourself.
Stand firm.
And everything will be alright.
What if age is just a number and life goes on forever? Would you make some changes, refix your experiences, dance with your situation and make no limitations? What if you woke up one day and realized it was all a dream? The birth, the pain, the tears, the smile, the rain. What if there's no yesterday, no today, and tomorrow doesn't exist because time is just a myth? Think about all the what ifs and just make today all that matters, cause maybe everything we're stressing over is just that, a what if. A what if?
So hold on to your dreams.